Hi there, my name's Ilsa Jackson, and this is
Daniel Jackson.
And we're here today to tell you a little bit about team and training, why we do it, what we do, and what's involved. I am going to be your team captain for the Georgia Marathon and Half Marathon this year, and I'm really hoping you all come out and join me. The responsibility that I'm taking on is an exciting one, and one that I'm really looking forward to working on. I've been working with team and training now for 4 years. This will be my fifth year. It'll be my fifth event. And I did the Georgia ING Marathon 3 years in a row. And then last year I ventured out to Nashville to the Country Music Marathon. What's involved? Let me tell you a little bit about that. Every week we go and we do a practice run together. And I, as your captain, will give you a couple of tips. You're going to have a coach there with you who's going to really give you the charge and the momentum on physically and from a sports perspective how to get through this. I'll give you a little hint. The best advice I can give you is to follow the program. You're going to get a very pragmatic, systematic program that's proven to always work. I can tell you, because I'll be honest with you, I'm not really a runner. I do this because I have a passion for the cause. But running has not really always been my game. However, I will tell you, you will find some gazelles out there, and as I like to say, you're going to find some people who probably should be running out in the throes of professional marathons, because you're going to find folks that are active, huge runners, and you're going to find folks like me who do it for the cause and get across the finish line, which is our ultimate goal. My job as your captain is to make sure that each and every one of you crosses that finish line, and I'm going to personally make sure that you all do. Joining me today is Daniel. Daniel is how old?
I am 6 years old.
And Daniel, did you have cancer?
No, because I take Remicin.
You are now in remission. Did you have cancer when you were little?
Yes.
Okay. Daniel was diagnosed with cancer when he was 1 year old. Daniel is my son, and on his first birthday, I took him in for what should have been a normal checkup. At the end of the checkup, the doctor said to me, I need you to go back over to Children's Hospital and have some more tests run. Of course, as a parent and as a mom, I said, okay, should I be worried? And he looked me in the eye and said, you're a mom. I'm not going to tell you not to worry, but we need to check some things out. As I was walking out, all the nurses were oddly enough patting me on the back saying, it's probably just an iron thing. He's probably just a little bit low on iron. Don't worry about it. Got to tell you guys, I really wasn't worried walking out. So I went over and he had his blood work done, and I'll never forget this day because it rings over in my mind all the time. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm sitting at my home office on a conference call with a client, and I get a call from my nanny, and she's looking pale. She comes in with the phone and she's shaking, and she said, the doctor's office is on the line and they said it's urgent to talk with you. Put my client on hold. I can't even remember what the last words I said to them were, and I took the call. The doctor, who's a wonderful man, Bob Harrison, says to me, Ms. Jackson, your son has leukemia. Okay, my first reaction is I scream. I really didn't know what leukemia was. I knew it was cancer, and I knew it was bad. After he calms me down with simple words of, you need to calm down, talking to me like another child, he explains to me what cancer is and what's involved with Daniel. The good news is they caught it at what they thought was the onset of the whole thing. The bad news is he had it, and we had to pack a bag for we didn't know how long to go to the hospital. Now, I'll tell you the truth, my 14-year-old daughter gives a much better talk at this point about what the family went through overall. But I can sum it up by telling you for the next 4 years our life was changed. Daniel went from being a happy-go-lucky little baby to being a very cranky, uncomfortable, ashy gray young child. Imagine a little toddler who's 1.5 and can't run because he really just doesn't have the muscle strength to do it. He's learning how to walk at 1.5. At 2 years old, he's doing better, but he and I spent Christmas in the hospital 2 years in a row. We're there for Christmas, we're there for New Year's. We continue on as a family and we get through it, but it was some real tough times. We made plans to do things, and sometimes they succeeded and sometimes they didn't. We went one summer to Panama only to end up in the hospital there, calling back to the United States for proper medication on what we needed to do. So life was pretty much turned upside down. About a year into Daniel's treatment, I was at the doctor's office one day and I saw a sign for team and training. And I was captured by the sign of all these people, some who looked obviously like they'd had cancer based on their appearance, and others who looked as healthy as horses. And they were all running, and they had their arms up in the air, and they looked happy as could be. I asked my doctor about it, the oncologist, and he told me that it was the organization that raised money to help find a cure for leukemia and lymphoma. I instantly went to one of the informational meetings, and Tommy, who was there, who is one of my dear, dear, dear inspirations, made me cry like a baby listening to the story of his child who didn't make it. As I sat there in the audience, pretty confident Daniel was going to make it. I signed up. I went in there thinking I was just going to sign up to walk for a half a marathon. I signed up for the full kahuna. I had signed up for the full marathon that night with the determination to finish it, and I did. And I can tell you that the tears I had at the finish line were tears of joy as I saw Daniel at the end running towards me, arms up in the air, saying, "Mommy, Mommy, Mommy," and a big sign in his hands. We're now 6 years later. Daniel's healthy. He's in remission. He just finished his 2nd year of remission. As a family, we've come back together. We've learned that faith is important, hope is important, and team and training and all that they do in finding a cure is extremely important. So again, I'll end with what I started. I really hope you come and join me this year. We're going to have a great time. We're going to have a great season, and I promise each and every one of you, I will see you across that finish line, no matter what condition you're in right now. Thanks, and I look forward to seeing you at our first training session.